everybody, welcome back to my channel and to another video. I hope you're all doing really well. In this video today we are going to be making this amazing spooky season card. I'm going to go through everything with you from start to finish, showing you how to do the design, and you will be able to pick this project up in Design Space if you want to as well. It will be on my profile for you to use, and I think I'm going to add some more designs in there as well, not just the cute ghost. So without any further ado, let's jump straight on into the video. I'm just quickly going to run through all the materials and the tools that I've got here for making this particular project. So for the materials wise, I've literally got two pieces of card. I've got a white piece and I've got this pad of cardstock, which is from Lidl's. You can find it there, I think it's usually around springtime, and this cardstock is so nice to work with your Cricut. It's really thick. It says that it is 270 GSM, but I think it's thicker than that actually. It is a very good sturdy cardstock, so if you ever see this in Lidl's, stock up on it for sure. So we've got two different sets of card. Then the actual tools that we're going to need are a brayer. I always use a brayer, as you probably have seen. I'm going to use my fine point blade, which is the one in the silver housing. As you can see, it's just in the bottom there. Then I'm going to be using a gel pen today. I've got these Zebra Doodlers glitter pen. You can pick these up in the works, but I think I've seen them on Amazon as well, so we'll have a look and see if I can find them on there for you. Then I've got my silhouette pick-me-up tool, which I use all the time for projects like this. Then a pair of tweezers, a True Control knife as well, and then just a standard grip cutting mat as well for the machine. I am going to be using my Cricut Maker today. It is the original Maker, not the Maker 3, so it is a pretty old machine, but it still works and it still does everything I need it to do. So let's jump into Design Space and see how this design actually works. First things first then, I'm just going to run through everything that's in this design and what you'll find when you open this project in Cricut Design Space. As usual, this will be a shared project on my profile, and if you don't know how to find a profile, I'll pop a video above and in the description down below for you, so you can check out a really short video on how to do that. So this is the image that I've chosen to use for my card today, and it's a little spooky ghost. If we want to find out where this came from, we can go over to the layers panel, right click it, click on the image info at the bottom, and then just click on that. And it's going to bring up that image on the screen and tell us who designed it, which was Brady Designs. And then if we click on it, we're going to be able to see all of the other different similar images that are available in Cricut Design Space. So if you wanted to choose something different, you could do that. This one, the reason that I chose it is because it has quite a lot of connected parts. The only bit that isn't connected is this little bit of the tail, but I am actually going to connect that in Design Space myself to make it a little bit easier when we're putting it together. So I'm just going to click back on the images icon on the left here just to get back to my canvas. So we've got this image on here. The first thing I'm going to do is connect that tail to this bit of the ghost. So the way I'm going to go about doing that, it's really simple. I'm just going to come over to the shapes menu and I'm just going to grab myself, I think I'm going to go for this oval today. I'm just going to pop that back there and then come down here and make this oval really tiny. Then I'm going to come into here with my oval, so that is now connecting the tail of the cat to the body of the ghost. If you want to zoom in, you can. Just make sure that you've got everything there that you need to. You can just double check that it's connected well. Then all you're going to do is select the oval in the layers panel and the ghost. So we're going to be pressing down shift and click on the ghost. Both of those layers are now selected. As you can see, they are highlighted green, and I'm going to come down to the bottom to the combine menu and I'm going to select weld. Now you can see that that piece of that cat's tail is now attached permanently to the body of the ghost, so we're happy with that. Let's go back to 100% zoom because we want to be able to see what we're doing now. So on the right hand side now of the screen, we've got the card and everything, and that's all going to be there for you to use. If you want to make your own card, that is there. This is that piece. So you've got the score line down the centre and the card there. This is about an A6 size card, so you can buy packs of envelopes for a few pounds that are going to fit this, because I haven't included an envelope in this project. I am going to show you all the different sections. So first of all, we have got these two frame areas. So we've got a white piece, and then it's silver at the moment, but we can change that to be whatever colour we're going to use. We've got this white piece here, and I have attached Spooky Season to it there just at the bottom, and then that's going to be done with a pen. Then we've got another layer here. This is what I normally use just as an aperture, just to make it a little bit more interesting and bring a little bit more colour through the design. So I'm going to, I think, adjust this silver one so that it's the same colour there as my gold piece, only so that it's easy for reference on here. And then what I'm going to do is just grab my ghost, and I'm going to shrink my ghost and my cat down, and I'm going to make it so that it's going to fit in the centre of my card just there. So that looks like a good size. That's 3.36 by 5 centimetres, so I think that's going to work. If you don't want to make your own card, by the way, you can use a pre-cut and pre-scored card. That will also work, and that will also save you a bit of time. The next thing that I'm going to do then is just hide this piece, because I'm not going to use that today. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on Make. Now that we've come through to the mats, you can see we've got 3 mats here. So the first one is our white sheet with our Spooky Season that's going to be drawn on with a pen, and then it's going to do the basic cut. It's also got the small little aperture on there as well, and that's where our ghost is going to sit. Then we've got the ghost and cat image itself, and that's on a black mat. And then on the next one we have our coloured sheet. Now I would probably go with orange for this for Halloween, so that I think is what I'm going to do. Let's start off with the Spooky Season and the white pieces and get the mat set up now. Here's my cutting mat that I'm going to use today then. So I've got a piece of 300 GSM white cardstock. I'm just going to pop that on there. Then I'm just going to use my brayer to go over it to make sure it's nicely stuck onto there. I'm just going to jump straight back into Design Space now and go through the cut settings that I'm going to use with my machine. The next step then is to click on Continue, and then we're going to choose our machine. I do have several machines that I use, so it will take a couple of seconds for my computer to find those. Next I'm just going to click on the drop down box and choose my USB connected Cricut Maker, and then because I regularly cut this board, I know that I always use the poster board setting. If you're not familiar with the material that you're using, it's always a good idea to do a little test cut, just a couple of stars, maybe a heart or something in the top corner, just to make sure that the settings that you've chosen are going to work for your particular material. If you struggle to find the material that you want to use, you can always click on the Browse All Materials just above all of these bookmarks here, and then that's going to bring up all of the different materials that you can cut. As I said, I'm choosing poster board for mine. The next thing to do is to look at what the machine wants you to do next. So it's going to be load tools and the material. We want to load in our pen and our fine point blade. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to get this cut out and then move on to the next page. Here I am then at my machine. As you can see, I've already got the fine point blade loaded into clamp B, but I do need to add my pen into clamp A. And the pen that I'm going to be using today is one of these Zebra Doodlers glitter pens. Now these are the ones I use quite regularly, and they fit into the pen holder really well. So what I'm going to do is open that clamp. I'm going to take the lid off my pen and pop it onto the top, and then I'm just going to pop that in there. I'm just going to push it down until that clicks, and then I'm going to close that up like so. So that is now firmly in there. I'm going to pop my mat into the machine, just following the guides on the left and the right hand side of my machine there, and I have moved my star wheels out of the way. That's not something that you need to do necessarily for just regular cardstock, but they've been out the way for other materials this week, so I've just left them there. I'm just going to hit the button that puts the mat into the machine, and now I'm going to hit go and get that one cut. that the drawing function and the first cut has finished, I'm just going to lift up this piece of card just to make sure that the cut has been successful. As you can see, it has, so we can now eject the mat. I would always recommend checking that your cuts worked before you eject the mat, because if it hasn't, you can simply just hit go again and it will go over your project with another pass and it will stop you from wasting material. Next, I'm just going to get my other two mats cut using exactly the same method that I did for the white sheets. Everything is cut out then, so we now have all the pieces that we need to put our card together. So this is what I'm going to be using. This is a pre-cut, pre-scored card, but as I said before, there is a card template in this project that you can use if you want to, and it will score the centre for you just like this. If you are using a card like I'm using today, I would recommend that you don't fold it down the centre until you have finished putting everything together and it's all dried with the glue, because it just makes it a little bit easier. If you fold it, sometimes that can encourage what you're putting on it to pop off, and it does make it a little bit more difficult to get everything to stick together. So the first thing that we're going to do is just put together our front face of our card. So we should have two orange pieces and then the two white pieces that we've got here, and then this is our ghost, the cat and the little eyes. So what I'm going to do is start off by just checking that my edges are nice and flush, and by that I mean that my machine has cut nice and smoothly, and as you can see I do have a little bit of fuzz on there. So I am just going to grab my True Control knife. I'm just going to move this little board out of the way, and I'm just going to go off camera to do this because it's easier on the green mat underneath. So I've just scored across there, and as you can see that's nice and smooth now. So this one goes on top of this one, and it gives us that really thin frame around the edge of that white piece. So let's grab some glue and just pop that onto there. You can use any glue for this, your favourite glue is fine. I'm using Collall all-purpose glue, and I've just put it into one of these bottles. Everything that I use today in this project will be linked down below for you, so you can check all that out afterwards if you want to. So we're just going to stick that onto there as close as we can, making it nice and even around each side there. Once that's done, we can pop it to one side. Then we've got our spooky season piece, and again it's the same concept. We're just going to pop it onto there, and we're going to make sure that it's as even around the edges as we can. Let's just pop our glue on there again. I have several bits of black glitter on this piece of card because I've used a black glitter for my little ghost. There we go, that is on there. We're just going to be really careful that we don't rub that pen, just to make sure that it doesn't smudge if it's not quite dry yet. So that piece is now on there as well. Let's leave that to dry while we put together our ghost. So with the ghost then, this is why I welded that small oval onto it. You can't even see that it's there, but it does make it a little bit easier for placement. So what I'm going to do is grab a pair of tweezers just to hold this a little bit easier, and I'm going to just glue around each of the white bits on here. So I'm going to just be really careful, and this is one of the reasons why I like to use these bottles, because you've got this like needle point end on it, and it makes it much easier for putting your glue on. Don't need to go mad with it because we don't want it to spill out onto our card if we can avoid it. So that's done. Let's pop this into the centre as best we can. And I'm just going to press that down with my tweezers. There we go. And I am just going to pop two small little blobs of glue on my white piece of card directly, just to allow me to pop those eyes onto there. And the eyes are just here. I'm using my silhouette pickup tool for this. There we go, and we just want to make sure that they're nicely stuck down There we go. Next thing to do then is to bring back our bigger piece, and we are going to pick this one up and pop the glue onto the back of the orange side. And then we are going to just pop that into the centre like that. There we go. That is done and dusted. Let's bring back our card. Now we can just pop this into here. It looks absolutely fantastic. I really love this orange card. I really wish Lidl's would bring it back more often, because the card cuts so well in the machine and it's such a gorgeous cardstock. I'm glad that when it was in last time I bought loads of it. Let's pop that into there. Now I can see a little bit of lift on my little ghostie's side there, so I'm just going to use the end of this pick me up tool just to get rid of that. And then another thing that I like to use this pick me up tool for is because it's sticky on this end, if I've got any little bits of glitter that are stuck to my project, I can just use this tool just to pick it up and sweep it away. So as I said, I'm not going to fold this until this whole thing is dry, but when I do fold it, it's going to look absolutely fantastic. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video and that you found it inspiring and that you're going to make some of these spooky season cards for yourself. I may even add some more designs into the project on Design Space, so keep your eyes peeled for those. And if you do make your own cards, please tag me in your images. My Instagram handle is Gemma Elizabeth YT, and I would love to see you over there as well as here on YouTube. As I said, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you soon for another one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!